Hello, welcome to today's collective general reading. As always, remember to use your own discernment, join with intention, and allow the message to be received with an open heart. A quantum reminder, we are speaking through symbol and story here, so please do not rely on tarot readings as factual evidence. You are always encouraged to do your own research, especially when engaging with strangers on the internet. In the description, I still have a few personal readings and experimental sessions up for grabs. That's through my Buy Me a Coffee, as well as the 444 Collective, which is linked through my Substack, where the signal is active. Yesterday's video, if you hadn't already seen it, had gotten cut off, I want to say 3 or 4 different times. And so I think what I'm going to do is kind of stitch those together into one video. And I'm going to be linking that on my Substack. It's not going to be coming through the YouTube portal. So if you go and subscribe to the Substack, you will get an email notification when that comes out. I say I'm doing it after this reading. I really don't know. So the only way to know when that comes out is to be posted to my Substack. Now, let's go. This is what came out for me when I was tucking away the previous reading. So we have Queen of Cups with the High Priestess and Mercury in the middle. And then a bit of channeled messaging came through. And before I even get to that, I am going to say I consumed caffeine today. And I quit caffeine in 2019. I quit cigarettes, so I quit nicotine, I quit caffeine. And at the same time, I also quit antiperspirants and like with aluminum in them. And it was a big shedding summer. I did end up smoking cigarettes again later that year, trying to finish my program. And then also it was a pandemic. But I quit cigarettes just over 5 years now. And I haven't had any nicotine since at all. I have had a few moments of caffeine and I find it really gets to me now, which is funny because when I worked in restaurants, I would drink 2 pots of coffee a day and I would have no issues. And then I would go to the bar and I would have like 8 to 12 pints of stout and I would be fine. I could drink 2 bottles of wine cooking supper at home and I would be fine. And substances do not engage the same way with my body, mind, and spirit since. I know part of that is aging, and I think it's also partly to do with our choice engaging with substance. By substance, yes, we can be talking about like mind-altering substances, but I'm also getting the sense of something of substance, not sustenance, substance. So perhaps something that consumes energy in your life that is substantial for you. It consumes a substantial amount of energy. This could be any kind of addictive habits, patterns, activities. We can look at things like gambling, like scrolling social media, different things that act as a time suck. I don't know if it's an American commercial or if it's Canadian because I see it here in Canada, but I saw it a few months ago and it was like the police going around and asking people, who was it that robbed you, something. And they were talking about, suddenly I had lost 4 hours of my time. I had lost 6 hours. I have no idea where my time went. My time was stolen. And I believe it's talking about scrolling and like social media use and technology use. So it's trying to encourage people to be mindful of the time that they are inputting, I'm hearing injecting into their technological devices. So as I'm seeing the dots lining up with Mercury, what I'm getting is that it is for all of us to consider how it is our time is being used and spent. Versus and in joint, not in collaboration. I want to say ishoni, like, which is Japanese, but like in togetherness with, there's spending, there's consuming, and there's also digesting. Something about a more organic process of. And I just passed 444 at some point. So whatever word it was that I was talking about, that is a specific message for the collective. Now, oh yes, I had mentioned Carrie, I'm telling you, anyway, yeah. How many? Okay, pause, hold on. I've been talking about getting signs, getting messages, getting downloads is one way to phrase it. And then literally one day later or hours later, it comes up through someone else. And so perhaps this is just me narrating the experience of becoming in sync, in tune, participating actively at a certain frequency. There's something there of, oh, holy crap, I just said that, and then it appeared. Now, I watched Carrie Kay's video today, and she was talking about light workers and why we are so tired. And it's funny because in the previous video, if you haven't already watched it, I'm talking about I've been so tired this week. I've been unable to keep up with rest. Doesn't matter if I sleep for 8 hours, for 10 hours, for 14 hours, for 6, like I just have not been able to catch up, which is literally why I consumed caffeine today, because I was working a shift and I was like, honestly, my attention is super crappy right now and I do need to be more alert. And so I had half a mug of poor quality coffee and I am still feeling it about 7 hours later. That's how much of an impact that substance now has on my body. When I used to have 3 cups of coffee, I don't even feel anything. So that, yes, we did talk about substance. So the issue of something that you used to rely on, as I keep doing so with getting this through infinity, there is something that keeps coming back over and over and over. I wrote substance, old relier, now outgrown, feels static, weird in skin. And also through this Mercury card reading in the book, it came through as the color green and pinky. So with the way I wrote pinky, it also looks kind of like pink 4. And so there may be something about the number 4 that is coming up for you, something about how we have 4 fingers plus the pinky, this additional 5th. We can talk about Fifth Element, great movie. But I mean, earth, water, fire, air, spirit for 5th element. Through Mercury came sense, as in like a smell, but also sense of a loved one. So perhaps there's something popping up for you from someone that you've been missing a lot recently. They've been in your mind recently. They keep coming up, and it's like, I don't know if it's a grandmother, if it's a previous partner, if it's a friend, if it's someone in your community, if it's an elder. Like there's someone who their smell was such a part of their presence. And you're now, let's say you're walking down the road, you're in the store, you're going through a library, you're engaging somewhere in what is to be neutral arena, and you suddenly get a whiff of their smell and you are immediately brought back to their presence. What I'm getting is they are showing up for you to notice them and notice what it is that sparks inside you when you are brought attention to their tension. Also, okay, no, that's going to be another message, because if not, I'm going to be talking here without any cards for a long time, and I think that's 2 different things. Okay, let's see. Plastique. Oh, okay, interesting. 9 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. Okay, this is kind of a bit of the channeled. So I was talking about overstim, and which is actually, and then ... So I'll talk about being double matched. So when I was preparing for this session, of course, I had to find fire, right? And I usually use matches. I did use matches today. And I suppose I had taken one out and then I kept doing other things. And then when I was prepared, I took out a match. And when I went to light it, the other match I had previously taken out had flipped onto the table. And so, and it wasn't a bad thing, you know what I mean? But it was this sense of, you're prepared. Like there's this double-ins. And you don't need to be. And so perhaps, and it's not that this is a bad thing. It's not like this is negative, you need to change. It's just be aware. When we are more mindful, we can learn when it is we already have what we need. We already have enough. I was also getting it as, and this goes into people who may identify with being neurodiverse. There's a whole catalog there, né? And something within that conversation, how we discuss being overstimulated, which sometimes is just, like for me when I was a teenager and I had to go to the mall on Black Friday to go shopping for clothes, and I just, oh my God, there's so many people, there's so much energy, there's so many textures, there's so many sounds, there's so many, like, it's just too much. And what would I do? Shut down. And it has taken years and years and years and years and years to develop skills in order to work through those kind of atmospheres, which over the past few years, in terms of, I don't really care how I appear to others. I'm not going to rush myself. I'm not going to force myself. This is this chaotic energy that's coming up regardless, but this is how we continue engaging. We are the 9+1 pentacles. We are not worried about the chaos that is outside our realm. By realm, I mean our bodies, our soul suits is what I've been calling it since I was a kid. And so this message is for someone's. I'm getting this is like fairly general. Not that it's non-specific, but I think this applies to like a very large portion of the collective. Is that through life, and perhaps the last few years has been a different experience. I know I bring up the pandemic, but we were all there. And something of that, it was like a factory reset. I know for me, there were so many social skills that I had been working really hard on for like over a decade to feel normal and to be able to blend in and move swiftly through those environments just long enough that I could meet the criteria of the humans I was surrounded by, and then I could Irish goodbye, bringing us to this blue agate that I'm not sure what its role is, but I know that it is to be here. Okay. We have, I don't know if you can see this guy. Yep. We have this, we have one here just between the 9 and Ace of Pentacles, and we have these two skips along the Queen of Cups. Thank you. You've gotten yourself to a place now since COVID, since all of your marbles spilled out perhaps, and maybe it's not COVID, I just speak to that because it was such a global, we all have a COVID story. And you've gotten more adept at maneuvering these public spaces. And I'm speaking in a very earthly sense now with public spaces. I could also be talking about how you operate within dream reality. There has been a shift where it's less so, how do I keep up with everything going on around me? How do I blend in? And it's actually, what is my pace? What do I want? Taking something into your own hands and saying, that wasn't so hard, was it? The panic that I know some of you felt when I tipped this upside down, and the, like, where's it gonna go? What's gonna happen, etc., etc. We have four pieces of stone came and blessed our table, and now we have more for another and. And I can turn this upside now, but because I have properly stoppered it, there is not the same panic that all of these gems are going to float loose and will never be found again. I think that's something that a lot of us in the spiritual community have felt, is that we lose parts of ourselves when we, similar to the wax of a candle, when we are getting used up and our resources burnt through, because we cannot keep up with the energy of everything around us without something giving. And what gives often is our own power source. Man, Six of Cups has been coming up a lot. What is this new bottom? Oh. Oh my. Okay. What is this? Because I did have you both here, but now I'm feeling the energy here. But there's a want of being together, but they're not supposed to be. Can we clarify? I know that there's something there with the 2 and 3 of Wands. And with the 3 of Wands being on bottom, what is King of Tides, which came in the previous reading. With the 3 of Wands being on bottom, what I'm getting is you having already made up your mind before you are looking to see where you want to go. Okay, what it has been previously is I want to get out. I want to leave. I want to survive this. I want to see another day, whether that's this lifetime, a physical day, an event. I'm getting a lot of things coming through, like just the social dynamics of being alive, being a lot. Ooh, yeah, 5 of Tides and 3 of Tides. This is the Mindscapes deck, and Tides is cups, water, emotions. Now, if you've been here, you know, for me, the 3 of Cups represents Antakarana, that divine connection with spirit through our crown chakra to source. What I'm getting here is the turmoil that has to happen so that we have these clear waters. Because look, the skyline is the same. This could be, well, although, like, yes, this 5 feels closer to shore because the rocks are there, we don't know. There could be a bunch of rocks here in this peaceful water, and we have no idea. But it's how we choose to view it. And again, with connection of the sky to swords, to our mind, to the stories that we choose to tell ourselves, we decide what weather it is that's happening within our internal systems. Do we see that reflected out in nature? Absolutely. So, yeah. 7 of Swords. Okay. So with 2 of Branches, again, and that card for me is connected with Divine Masculine, which I feel is the purpose for this deck showing through. It's this overgiving and always thinking there's going to be something else that you can do and start, whether that's your relations, that's projects, that's passion that enters you, and then you give it away immediately. You're not holding on to your own, not resources. I'm getting like stock, refuel, something. I'm picturing like a wine cellar with a bunch of like backstock and having a lot of stuff that replenish. No, I can't think of it. Perhaps it will come to you. I also think sometimes when there's a word or a phrase or a something that's on the tip of my tongue and not coming out, perhaps it's for you to make your own meaning. The star. Hello. has been, I think, in every reading for the past few weeks. Honestly, it might be every reading since I did that collaboration with Scythe, and that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. No, that was the beginning of the month. Yeah, that was 3 weeks. Wow. We have the Star, the Ace of Tides, and the Six of Stones. So another 6, yes, again, we are in our reinvention to the 7, but I'm not necessarily getting this connected with swords. What I'm getting is this continued dawn. It's our choice to decide what our weather becomes. We control the climate. We are not only alone in our ecosystem, and we are the ones who decide how we choose to act and operate in the world. Nobody decides that for us. This pentacle. Even though you may feel sometimes, well, there's nothing else I could do. Well, I didn't have any other option, etc., etc. As you may hear some sounds, because I am wiggling in a little computer chair that I picked up yesterday for 20 bucks. And is it the best thing in the world? No. But to roll again on wheels, creaky as they may be, weirdly shaped as they may be, it feels so good to feel the freedom of moving and wiggling whenever I want to. And the chair wasn't really working for me, which, whatever, that's fine. It's only 20 bucks. I said, it's okay, I'll get through it. And then right before I started recording this video, I said no. And I flipped this chair on its side and I said, there has to be a way to tighten something on the back. And I kept wiggling and I kept moving this and that and nothing. And then I did a last ditch effort. Not that I was getting frustrated. Not that I was like, man, I can't figure this out. I'm so upset. I was just like, something's gotta move. I don't know how old this chair is. I don't know where it's from. I don't have the instruction manual. Technically, I have nothing to go off but my own intuition on how a chair works. Wouldn't you know it, I was able to stabilize the back and it sits a hell of a lot better. And you know what? I do feel good about that. I do. So what you are repairing is your own crashed landing. I was going to say landing, but you are deciding whether to land or to crash. And this is becoming the hat, the bridge trick to your earthly life. Getting T, which, hello, and also T as in time. The Hathors, Thors, the Hathors, Thors, not that deck. Then who? Dreams. There's a dream that I had in November, early November, first week, that whoever you are, that totally changed things for me. 28, Ocean of Emotion. Find a safe place to express your true feelings. And looking in the screen up there, a lot of blue, a lot of water, a lot of oceanic, right? Perhaps one day I will talk about the dream, but I think that yeah, North Star, this keeps coming out. 19, flip your inner light switch. Oh my goodness, a light switch imagery was coming out earlier for me. That's for later. That's for later. That's too much to say right now. I don't think I'm gonna be talking about this dream on the public. But this is something that I do want to talk about once we have more of a private gathering space. Hopefully soon I will have enough subscribers and view hour watches where I can start a membership, because that's really what I've been wanting to do for months, but YouTube has requirements. But I do want a safe space. I do want somewhere that we can gather and actually talk through these things. I want to be able to do lives. and speak with you all. So please let me know if that's something that you would be interested in. And hopefully that comes to fruition soon. And in the meantime, before I am sharing my personal dreamage, what I'm getting is, I don't think that this is necessarily what has been happening with the collective back in November when I had mine, but something in the collective now dream state. One with the sun, be the light. Again, this does bring me back to Carrie's reading, not reading, her video, her message that just came out about light workers. Which is funny because the dream that I'm referring to is is very much about light worker memories resurfacing all at once, very suddenly, very clear. So this may be something that is happening for you. Is becoming the switch when, oh, this actually is reminding me of this here, that I have this, is it ocean jade, I believe? And here this unakite with this smaller. Something orbiting the sun. Something is in orbit. Okay. 26 minutes. I am going to allow this reading to breathe here. I may continue on. I don't feel that, okay. I do not feel that there are any answers given within this reading. And what I'm receiving is that this message is not about a deliverance. It's about a passage. It's a choice passageway. It's how you choose to still embody your 10 of Pentacles while walking through. See, all you hear are the 5. All you see here are the 5 wands of conflict. You see 4 over, I've never noticed this, 4 of these clumped together and then 1 singular. You are choosing to walk alone. That doesn't mean that there is no one with you, but you are choosing to not walk alongside the masses because their weight is the densest. That's no longer the gravitational force that is pulling you into orbit. You are orbiting your own sun. And through this, your light grows. Okay. Thank you for being here. If this message resonates with you, you can like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to hear from me more often. Stay tuned.